So today I'm going to challenge you to explore your capabilities and your potential to take an action, to take an idea and turn it into an action, and then follow it up with a commitment to impact somebody else's life. Being an Olympian has given me so many wonderful, wonderful opportunities. The Olympic ideals have really inspired me throughout my entire Olympic career when I was competing, but it really shaped me into the person I am today. The Olympic ideals that I'm talking about are excellence, friendship, and fair play. Excellence is all about giving your best in life, and that's whether you're in class, whether you're in your community, whether you're at home, wherever it is, it's giving it your best. But it's also giving it your best when nobody's looking. So your coach isn't around, your parents aren't around, just make sure that you're always putting your best foot forward. Friendship. Friendship is really all about forging these wonderful relationships around the world with people who don't necessarily share the same beliefs or ideas as you do, whether it's religious, political, economic, ethnic, gender, whatever it is. And fair play. Fair play is all about respecting yourself, respecting others, and really trying to make the best decisions possible. However, really the best thing that being an Olympian has given me is that it led me down the path to figure out how I wanted to impact other people's lives. So inspiration can be found in so many different ways. It can be, you can find it in an idea, you can find it through an action, you can just feel it sometimes, something that just moves you. So what and who inspires me is my mom. My mom is a registered nurse, and she has done medical volunteer work all over the world. And she encouraged me to take a volunteer trip to Africa. So off I went to Africa with really, to be honest, not a lot of expectations, but I was so impacted mostly by the vast disparity that I saw between men and women and boys and girls, just in their day-to-day life. Obviously going to school and doing chores, and in sport. That's what our group, our volunteer group, focused on. For example, there's soccer. Obviously, everybody in Africa loves soccer. So there's already, when we were playing with the kids, the boys were just super aggressive, super confident. The girls just stood there like orange cones is what we referred to them as. Didn't have a whole lot of self-esteem, and the boys were playing all around them. There was already these preconceived ideas of who should be better at this sport. But we actually brought over baseball and softball. So they had never picked up a bat. They'd never run bases. They had never even heard of the sport. So the whole dynamic changed. And I saw, as an athlete, it was really astounding to me to watch these boys and girls learn on a level playing field. And it's because there were no preconceived idea who should be stronger, who should be better. And to be honest, there were a lot of girls that really stood out, which was awesome. So I have a little story about Thomas, who was a little boy that I met. You always seem to connect with somebody when you're over there. And at the end of our volunteer trip, we were all saying goodbye to everybody. And he came up to me and was a little teary-eyed. It's always so hard to say goodbye. And he said to me, in his broken English and with some interpreters there and everything, he said, thank you for coming, and we learned so many new and fun things and new sports. And he said, lastly, he said to me, he's like, I see, girls can play. And I was kind of like, I had the interpreter come back to me, and I was like, can you just tell me what he said again? And he said, I see, girls can play. So for me, that was kind of an aha moment for me, because in less than 2 weeks, we were able to open the eyes of a little boy to see the capabilities of a girl differently. Pretty cool for me to see that happen. And it was really cool to see sport being used. It really proved to me that sport could be used in such a unique environment to challenge the accepted ideas of masculinity and femininity, and to really be able to renegotiate some of these harmful gender norms. So obviously my trip really impacted me. When I came back, I knew I had to do something. It moved me. I needed to do something. So I surrounded myself with some wonderful people who knew more than I did, and we came up with an idea. The idea and what inspired me. What was it that inspired me? It was sport, it was gender equality, and the Olympic ideals. So from that, we turned that into an action. I decided to form a 501c3. And most importantly, I ended up following it up with really the commitment to make sure that I created a program that used sport and the Olympic ideals to, excuse me, to promote gender equality and to really be able to shift different behaviors and relationships between boys and girls and really make a better community with a bigger purpose in Rwanda, Africa, where we work. But so that is really how I was inspired. So really what I would like to do is now explore how you can begin your journey to create an inspired life. So it really begins, I feel, with asking yourselves, what are you interested in doing? What do you like? What really moves you? We all come from so many different backgrounds. We've had different things in our lives that have impacted us, triumphs and tragedies and different causes and diseases that have impacted us. So think of it. You know, is it environment? Is it animals? Is it public health, sport, youth, the veterans? You know, is there a specific cause that really resonates with you? Secondly, think about the skills that you all have that you can actually use. A foundation has it's run just like a regular business. There's so many skills that you all could have that could impact a nonprofit that maybe you're passionate about. You know, in a nonprofit, there's marketing, there's fundraising, there's events, there is a ton of social media needed, there's business, there's finance. So there's a lot of things that you all can use, you know, your skills that you can use to help. Secondly, maybe it could actually be more tangible. Maybe you all love to read. If you like to read, maybe you can call up and find out a local nursing home that doesn't have, you know, one of their people there doesn't have anyone that comes and visits them anymore, or doesn't have anyone living anymore that will come and visit. You can go read to them. You can do a crossword puzzle with them. You can sit and just have dinner with them. You can go to a local soup kitchen and volunteer your time feeding the homeless. You can go to the local animal shelter, walk dogs. Many, many different ways that you can impact somebody else's life. My point is that we all have to draw on our own inspiration and that you all have special talents and you all have special skills to do this. So my advice to you guys is to keep it simple, start small, and really realize that each and every one of you alone should be empowered to know that you can make a difference by yourself. So I really ask you to think about exploring what moves you, what really moves you and inspires you. Listen to people who know more about things that you don't know about. Surround yourself with people who know more than you do. And last is act. Act to make it real. It's so important that we actually follow through and are held accountable to making a difference in this world. So what I'm going to ask all of you to do to act to make it real, go to either our Twitter, I know how much you all love social media, or Facebook page. And I really actually want you to share with you, I want you to share with me what your idea is. So my idea is blank. It says my action will be this. I am committed to this. So I want you to use this as a formula to think about little mini goals that you can use to make an impact on somebody else's life. So again, if you can write it down or think about it again, I would love for you to share with me. That's the point. I want you to share with me your journey to how you are creating impact or creating an inspired life. I would love to hear about how you're doing it. I would love to see photos of you doing it, and I'd love to be able to reply to it all. So again, the formula can be used. They're little mini goals. You can keep using it again and again. So my idea is, or your inspiration is, my action will be, and my commitment is that. And commitment is really kind of give you a little time frame of when you should complete it. And hashtag it. Hashtag it, I am social change. Or hashtag it, idea, action, commitment. So anyway, so lastly and most importantly, I'll just leave you with one of my favorite quotes. And it's very simple and short, and it is by John F. Kennedy. And one person can make a difference, and everyone should try. So thank you.